Hello from the Hines family.
Hi.
Hi.
Our family is enjoying many things from quarantine, so we're going to show you a few things we'd like to keep.
One of the things I have enjoyed most about quarantine is that we're not super busy with school or sports or Valor and crew, and that we've had a lot of family time, and travel has been a lot cheaper, and Claire and I went up to Michigan this summer and spent a couple weeks with grandparents up there, which is really fun.
During this quarantine, we have had to do homeschool, and Elise and me have had more time together, and we've been doing rollerblading.
I have enjoyed playing. We've got a new Nintendo, and so I've enjoyed playing Super C on that with my dad. And we are also homeschooled, so I get more time to play on roller skates and on bikes and play Barbies with my sisters.
Good. Who normally wins Super C, you or Dad?
Dad.
Ah. Any other games that you like to play in those?
Not really.
Not really. Sister's really good at Super Mario, or not Super Mario.
Dr. Mario.
That's right. All right. Thanks for sharing.
Bye. I'm from the Hines family.
What are you on, bud?
I'm Ryan. My bike, so I can say hello from the Hines family.
Did you learn to ride your bike during quarantine?
Yes.
Is that something you want to keep doing?
Yeah, no, I need my gummies after this.
You like riding your bike?
Yes.
Yeah, show them one more time. How do you ride it?
Okay.
Nice. Thumbs up, dude.
All right, so one of the things that I am wanting to keep from quarantine is something that would have shocked me a few years ago. A lot of you know I didn't drink coffee at all until we started meeting with people with crew, and everybody wanted to meet at Starbucks for some reason. But coffee has become not a necessity, but a joy in life. You might disagree if you see this is our little coffee station over here to my side. But one of the things that I've had time to do in quarantine is to actually start roasting my own beans. And so I got a burner for outside and a popcorn popper. And so we've just been enjoying exploring how to make different kinds of roasts from different regions. And just having the time to do that is something I think Katrina has really enjoyed with me too. So that is something I want to keep from our time in quarantine.
One of the things that I would like to keep from quarantine is just a steady diet of reading new material. And so one of the things that Donna and I did was we read a book together called The Tech Wise Family. And it's by Andy Crouch. And actually one of the things that we implemented during quarantine was a tech-free day. And so that was kind of like our Sundays. So we would take a tech-free Sabbath on Sundays. And it just helped us to pause, and we actually turned the internet completely off, turned our phones on airplane, and just had time to just focus on each other, to focus on our family. So it was just a really great thing that I would like to keep from quarantine.
All right, well, thanks for letting us share some of the things that have been beneficial and helpful for us during quarantine that we would like to keep in our life. So we'd like to throw the offer out to you too as you watch this. We would love to hear a response from you of what has your family, your home experienced during this time that you would like to keep as well. We'd like to hear and learn from you, so please respond and share. But we also know a lot of you have been asking what things are like for us here, and so we just wanted to share an update of what Virginia Tech is like, what the Core is like, and what ministry has and is like for us. So to start off with, we'll just celebrate the fact that the cadets are here in person. That was a big question mark for a while. And so the campus has looked different. They've rearranged rooms so that right now we have 2 students per room, and they're going through, if anybody in the company comes down with COVID symptoms, they're quarantining. So students do disappear for pockets at a time. We find out that they're in quarantine. So, and Grubhub has exploded here. They're not allowed to physically go to the dining hall to get food. Everything is delivered. So it is definitely a different feel on campus. But they are here, and we're rejoicing over the opportunity to at least be face-to-face right now.
Yeah, so after having several opportunities to kind of talk to our student leaders, there's definitely some mental shifts as well with our students. So they're just much more low. There's this mentality of I'm going home in just a week or two. They're just waiting for the email to drop and the expression of like what they're supposed to do to move out. So you can imagine the harm that kind of does on morale for our student body and for especially our cadets, especially when they are doing the best they can with what they've been given. So they're in charge of a certain company within the Corps of Cadets here, and they're doing their best to abide by the rules that not only Virginia Tech is giving them, but the Corps, and to see everybody off campus without masks and not social distancing, and knowing that that's where things are getting spread, and there's nothing they can do in order to keep on campus. So that's just been a shift. Another shift too is just being in their rooms a lot more. So they're in front of their computers doing Zoom classes. And so it's taking a toll on them. It feels like they're in the rooms a lot more. That says, one of the gals that I disciple, she said that it just feels like she's doing homework all day, where last year or years before she would have time in between classes to meet with people and just to interact with people and go grab lunch and dinner. And then she'd save all of her homework till the evening. But now it's like she's just there, she's just working all day. So it's that feeling of just homework takes longer. I'm just in front of a computer, sitting in my room with me and my roommate, and we're just doing school together. So there's just a lot of mental tolls taking on our students right now.
Yeah, and one of the things that we're trying to process through and help them think through too is, how does the gospel and how does our faith intersect with thinking through these things? There's so much uncertainty right now. And so even as we approach it, we're trying to say, if the Lord wills, this is our 4-month plan, 6-month plan, 1-year plan. But at the same time, we are very much taking it on a 3 to 4 week plan as well of this is what's real right now. So God help us to be faithful with this here right now. And so one of the ways that has played out in a really fun way, right now we just know we can't meet in more than 15 people at a time. So we've had to break down anything that's big, anything that's large. Most events are gone. And it's really stripped us down to really small communities, which has made things super personal. And so it's actually something we've really enjoyed as we've started this school year, is just how much more personal the time has been. In fact, one of the things the students, they seem to love, I know I love it, is I have a portable office this year. So I have 3 blue camp chairs that I sling over my shoulder. I've got my backpack and I have a cooler. And I've just found shady spots on campus and just set up, and cadets just hang out as they have opportunity. There's a hunger for face-to-face time, and so it's led to some really open, good discussions. I'll just take a picture and send out to the group of office hours. And I've even had some of the military staff come out and check it out and thought it was pretty cool. So really enjoying that part of just being flexible, saying, God, we trust you with this in the long run, the short term. Help us to keep loving cadets well, and help us make disciples here and now with the opportunity you've given us.
Yeah, so one of the things I feel like the Lord continues to put on both of our hearts is just a passage in Philippians. And I had a chance to kind of share this with some of the girls that I meet with this week in just a very personal way, and even shared with the staff team, I guess, this last week too. Just the wrestling, I feel like that is happening with this isolation and this pandemic is just being at home. And I feel like we kind of only let in like the voices that agree with us. And so we find kind of our a little comfort zone, and we're thinking on the same things over and over. And I think a lot of times it's harvesting just thoughts about our brothers and sisters in Christ, thoughts about ourselves, just thoughts that are not true. And so that's one of the things that I was kind of helping some of my girls to discover for themselves of what are you thinking on? What's influencing that thinking, and what should our thinking be like? And so some of you probably already guessed it, but Philippians 4 and verse 8 is where I've been taking them as kind of that grid and that filter through which we should be thinking. So finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there's any excellence, if there's anything worthy of praise, think about these things. So that's just a great filter that I'm hoping that myself, as well as the girls that I meet with, that we'll be thinking on things that are true. And I love this next verse. Right after that, right after our thinking, comes Paul's exposition of what you've learned and received and heard and seen in me. Practice these things, and that the God of peace will be with you. So Paul has this huge charge of like, hey, what you're seeing in me, what you're hearing from me, I want you to follow those things, practice those things, and the God of peace will fill you. And so I'm thinking that's a high calling for me as someone who's hopefully influencing not only my family and my kids, but these girls that are following after me, that I want to be thinking these things so that I am these things that Paul is asking them to follow. And so praying that would be what was true of us, and true of our kids, and true of these students that we work with. So that is one of the prayers that we're asking, is that you would pray for the thinking and the morale of our students, that they would be thinking through what is true, what is honorable, what is just, and all of those, that list of things that Paul is encouraging us to use as a grid to help that battle in our mind.
Yeah, so we just, in conclusion, just want to pray that for you, but ask that you continue to pray for peace for us as well. Pray for continued face-to-face personal ministry. We really long for God to be gracious and continuing to give that to us. But also just pray for the mental state of a lot of students, that they would not become worn down or anxious or even pessimistic about the future that God has given right now. But then pray for their minds, for our minds to think rightly and to be guided by God's Spirit. So thank you for listening. Give us the time to share some of the things that have been good that we want to keep, but also just sharing the reality, prayer requests, the joys, the struggles. We are so thankful for you, for the ways that you're coming alongside, partnering and helping this ministry be a reality. So we are thankful. We love you. Have a good one.